Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Now that I'm engaged, I've decided to slow down a little. 3 Diddy parties a week. Maybe 4. Well, not including the weekends.
Boy, I remember one day we went to this Diddy party.
Well, what happened?
Lil Jon forgot his pimp cup.
Yep.
D-Rock went to Diddy and Ashton B had a pimp cup Lil Jon can borrow.
Man, he had a whole bunch of pimp cups.
He had a pimp set.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook, a Diddy party or a Diddy after party, or a Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became.
You already knew the parties weren't just parties. You felt the silence that followed certain names, a quiet so deep and so wide it felt less like discretion and more like fear. You watched the careers launched from behind those velvet ropes, the untouchable status of certain celebrities, and you wondered, what was the real price of admission? The whispers said it was about connections, about being in the right room at the right time. But the truth is so much darker, so much more calculated. What you didn't know, what they never wanted you to find out, is that every single moment in those rooms was being recorded. Every compromise, every transaction, every forced moment of weakness, meticulously documented and stored away, not as memories, but as weapons. For decades, it was the most open secret in Hollywood, a ghost in the machine. Tonight, the machine is breaking, and a man they tried to destroy, Terrence Howard, is shattering decades of silence to reveal the unthinkable, which A-list celebrities weren't just attending Diddy's infamous gatherings. They were active, willing architects in building the largest, most sophisticated blackmail operation in entertainment history. But before we dive into the celebrity recordings that are tearing Tinseltown apart at its seams, you need to understand something critical. This story didn't start in a boardroom or a recording studio. It started with a warning from beyond the grave. DMX didn't just die, he was silenced. And if that sounds like the fringe of a conspiracy theory, I need you to listen. Really listen to the man in his final days, because when you hear a warrior, beaten and bruised, predicting his own death while exposing the exact same network we're exposing today, you start to realize that some conspiracy theories are just inconvenient truths, dressed up by the powerful to sound crazy. Stop. Right there.
I think it's a conspiracy against me, you know, because in the absence of the truth will prevail. So as long as nobody out there spitting real, you know, you can come up with anything and it'll sell, you know what I'm saying? But once you put the truth out there, it's like people have something to compare everything else to. So, you know, you got a lot of people who are not really happy about the fact that, you know, my album is about to drop, you know, they're not really happy about, you know, Lord, give me a sign, and, you know, we in here, and, you know, things of that nature. But you know what? If you want to rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I called The Industry. And that pretty much explains, you know what I'm saying, what this is about. The industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry, it's not a game. The industry, real is dying to get in the industry just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going to dress like this and talk with the gap. The industry got y'all word meaning nothing. The industry, what you heard, because he's bluffing. The industry, money, bitches, hate, but I dare you to try to take a thing off my plate. The industry like, wait, but in the streets be like, get him. 17 up in that thing, catch him sleeping, hit him. My pop web's with him. The coroner's coming to get him. Industry.
Did you catch what he just said? He doesn't talk about a vague, shadowy plot. He names names. Jay-Z, Diddy. The exact power structure controlling the industry through what he called sick individual behavior. This wasn't a man having a public breakdown. This was a soldier with 30 years on the front lines trying to scream a warning to us about a systematic operation he knew would eventually consume him.
And the things that the devil does, it's not so much a person, even though he he acts through people. You know, you can't call one person the devil. You know, you can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil. You know, and you know, it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what, this is God's country because I met the devil here. Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realized that this is God's country because he helped me get over these obstacles.
My beef with them is that they are an obstacle to the truth, to people knowing what's really going on. Listen to the gravel in that voice, the raw, unfiltered pain. DMX is describing the Diddy-Jay-Z partnership not as a business rivalry, but as an active, malicious obstacle to the truth. He's telling us, point blank, that they work in concert to maintain control through methods most people wouldn't dare to imagine. But here's where the temperature drops to absolute zero. Watch what happens when DMX gets specific, brutally specific, about the industry practices everyone knows about, but nobody has the guts to talk about. They work together. It's called compromise. You put a man in a compromising situation, and then you have something on him, and then you can control him. That right there is a dead man's testimony. DMX just laid out the entire blueprint.
Industry, dog.
Industry is full of a bunch of dick-sucking, dick-riding, bending over the desk ass straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't give a Bring it. Bring it, bitch.
Well, the industry is full of homo hating ass. I mean, it's like they got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play their
Right.
and, you know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive dicks, and it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now they want you all up under this, you know, sitting at the going to dinner with them and like that, and you know, all that favor for a favor shit. I don't get down like that. Look, I give you the music, you give my money. That's it.
A lot of the love I had for wanting to be a part of the industry is not there anymore. I don't even associate myself with the industry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. You know?
And you've always stood alone, and you know, bloodline.
I'm not. You're not gonna see me at every party, every industry party, all the clubs. I go somewhere quiet, man, shoot pool with me and my mans and them. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I do. You know what I'm saying? My remote control cars, jump on the four wheelers. You know what I mean? I ain't with all that in the club, throwing it up and all that. I ain't got time for that, man. And then you find yourself doing the same every day. What are you, alcoholic? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Give it a break, man. Live a little. You know what I mean? Play with my kids, man. I play with my toys, play with my dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? We go somewhere, shoot pool. We do what the we do. You know what I mean? That's why you see us in places that you don't normally see. You're like, damn, why you here? Well, I'm here because why are you here, mother? You here playing video games, acting. You know what I mean?
These had the nerve to tell me one time, I said, yo, why I can't have two videos playing at the same time? Oh, because we don't want your videos to compete with each other. But then I turn on the TV, I ain't gonna say no artist names, but they got 3 videos back to back.
Exactly.
I'm like, you feeding me,
exactly.
And you sucking these dicks all crazy, exactly. Man. What's wrong with you? Yo, I had to punch one nigga in his face up there, man. After that, I was like, I'm not going to the office no more.
Is that how it went down?
Yeah. Cause I don't, you know, I'm a grown ass man, and I ain't got time to be playing no kid games, man. So once I see I'm not dealing with a man and he disrespects me, I'm breaking his jaw.
He detailed the mechanism of control, compromise, humiliation, and the threat of exposure. He explained how these partnerships maintain power through shared damning secrets. And he revealed the ultimate price for speaking out: systematic, professional, and personal destruction. He wasn't just making accusations. He was providing a roadmap, a key to understanding the very recording operation we are exposing tonight. The most heartbreaking part, DMX tried to warn us. He tried to expose the same cancerous network that Terrence Howard is now risking everything to reveal. The only difference is DMX didn't live long enough to see justice served, but his words live on. They are a prophetic testimony from a man who knew the cost of speaking truth to power and spoke it anyway. This is the foundation you must understand, because everything DMX predicted is unfolding right before our eyes. But DMX was speaking from the perspective of a victim being systematically destroyed by the machine. What we needed was a survivor, someone who looked into the abyss, said no, and lived to tell the tale.
A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
That man is Terrence Howard. Unlike DMX, Terrence Howard didn't just survive the industry's darker elements. He studied them. He reverse engineered them. And what he discovered about the systematic recording operation will make you understand exactly why the system tried so hard to break him, to paint him as crazy, to erase him. A number of producers, they came to me with opportunities in exchange for intimate favors. Hold up. Did you catch the precision of his language? He didn't say a producer. He said a number of producers. This wasn't a random one-off proposition. This was a systematic, calculated recruitment drive for what he explicitly calls opportunities in exchange for intimate favors. This was the pipeline. But here's the game-changing revelation that changes everything. When Terrence refused these opportunities, he didn't just lose work. He discovered a terrifying truth. Rejecting the system meant he was never supposed to find out what happens to the people who accept it. And that's when he started paying attention. That's when he began connecting the dots to other artists who mysteriously vanished after speaking out. Artists like P.D. Pablo.
And they tell him, okay, yeah, you can have a deal. You know, perform fellatio on me, and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And P.D. Pablo, you remember P.D. Pablo?
I know who that is.
P.D. Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is On. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business. No radio station would play his stuff. So you look for P.D. Pablo, he's not around anymore. But that song, Ho It's On, they did not care, and they went all in on it.
They create fake scandals to discredit them before they can reveal what they know. This is the missing piece of the puzzle. They don't just destroy artists who try to expose the recording system. They actively orchestrate their character assassination. They weaponize the media to create a fake scandal narrative, ensuring that when the victim speaks, their credibility is already ashes. Think about the devastating implications. P.D. Pablo wasn't just a rapper who fell off. He was a lyrical powerhouse who got systematically erased because he started exposing the intimate favor network that feeds fresh talent to the recording operation. The pattern is now unmistakable, a terrifying trifecta of control. DMX warned about the system, and he died. P.D. Pablo exposed the system and got his character eliminated. Terrence Howard refused to participate and got his career sabotaged. But here's what the architects of this nightmare never counted on. Terrence Howard survived. He survived long enough to connect all the dots. And what he discovered about the Celebrity Recruitment Network will fundamentally rewire your understanding of Hollywood.
Rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, well, until you see them at a Puffy party.
Oh.
Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray. Oh, drop it.
Because it wasn't just Diddy running this operation alone in a shadowy room. He had help. Active, willing, complicit help from some of the biggest, most trusted names in the world. Names you grew up with, faces you admired. Celebrities you never ever suspected were actively feeding talent directly into the recording machine. The question is no longer whether celebrities were being recorded. The question that should be sending chills down your spine is, which celebrities were helping to do the recording? Before we name those names, fam, you need to be part of this investigation.
Great, I'm watching him, he's with my man Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded.
This story is moving at lightning speed, and you cannot miss what comes next. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because what we reveal in the second half of this video will change how you see Hollywood forever. Don't be on the outside looking in. You need to understand exactly how this recording operation functioned, because what Terrence Howard uncovered isn't just about party footage or embarrassing moments. This was a systematic clinical program of psychological warfare designed to break a person so completely they could never mentally or emotionally recover enough to expose what was done to them. They have a clinical term for it, a term that should haunt your dreams. Let that term sink into your soul for a moment. Breaking the bug. It's the language of extermination, of dehumanization. It describes a process of such total psychological domination that the victim is left a shell, forever trapped. Terrence was strong enough to fight back, but most weren't. But here's the most disturbing part of the blueprint. According to Terrence, they don't target just anyone. They specifically target individuals with natural charisma, authentic talent, and independent thinking, the exact qualities that could make someone a genuine threat to their power structure in the future. Listen to the genuine confusion in his voice. He's describing a mass industry-wide cognitive dissonance. The public persona, the hyper-masculine invincible rapper, is the exact opposite of what was demanded and recorded in those private sessions. This is the core of the blueprint. Target a uniquely talented individual. Force them into a compromising situation. Record everything. Use that footage as a psychological anchor to control their behavior, their music, their public statements for decades. The recordings aren't just blackmail material, they are shackles on the soul. They keep victims trapped in the system, performing, producing, and protecting the very machine that owns them, because the cost of escape, the horror of that footage seeing the light of day, is unthinkable. And once you understand this mechanism, everything else starts to make a terrifying, horrifying sense. The sudden celebrity breakdowns, the erratic, out-of-character behavior, the mysterious, often early deaths of people who started talking a little too much. It's all part of managing a population of controlled individuals whose every move is dictated by what was captured on camera. But here's what the system never anticipated. Some celebrities weren't just victims of this recording operation. Some of them were active participants in building it, and the name that keeps coming up isn't who you'd ever expect. Look at that old footage. There's Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, America's dad, gushing with paternal pride about his mentorship of a young, bright-eyed talent. But now, look at Bryce's face. That's not gratitude. That's the face of captivity. The body language doesn't lie. The smile doesn't reach the eyes. What we're seeing, with the benefit of hindsight, isn't mentorship. It feels like imprisonment. Insider and singer Jaguar Wright connected every single dot, and the picture she painted is monstrous. Think about the sheer diabolical genius of the manipulation. You're a kid from West Philadelphia, and Will Smith, the single biggest success story your neighborhood has ever produced, offers to take you under his wing, to mentor you. What young, starry-eyed kid would ever say no? What parent would ever be suspicious? That trust, that hope, was weaponized. According to Wright, Will Smith wasn't elevating talent. He was curating it.
They're both, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mill, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
He was feeding a steady stream of fresh, vulnerable, and trusting young men directly into a recording system specifically designed to break them. There it is, your explicit confirmation. Wright states, on record,
Both they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mill, Bryce Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
Hey, man.
And that was they kid's friend.
that both Will Smith and Diddy were involved in activities so terrifying, so traumatic, that the victims were left screaming and running. The recruitment network was perfect, a sick symphony of exploitation. Will Smith provided the credibility, the trust, the good guy facade. Diddy provided the infrastructure, the parties, the recording apparatus. Together, they created a seamless pipeline that could identify, condition, compromise, and control an endless supply of young talent. This is how the legendary celebrity tape library was built, not by chance, not by luck, but through the systematic, cold-blooded recruitment by the most trusted figures in the business who used their own reputations as bait. But if you think the Will Smith Recruitment Network sounds devastating, wait until you hear the specific eyewitness evidence about which celebrities were actually recorded and what those recordings allegedly contain. The details come fast and furious, a torrent of specific named accusations, but then she drops the bomb that should trigger federal investigations. Let that settle. Jaguar Wright just alleged on record the existence of a specific tape.
She knew she knew what Will did to him. Because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is, she wasn't nothing but a dealer's whore. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bashir in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy, and I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay porn. You and Charlie Mack.
Yeah, let me ask you. Today the U.S. Yeah, no, we gonna pray for Mr. Gray, man. If he needs prayer, I don't even know what's going on.
They trying to sleep him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists. I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be a bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it? All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure.
A tape involving Bryce Gray, the victim, Will Smith and Diddy, the perpetrators, Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber, alleged witnesses. She provides names, a location implied by the context, and an explicit description of a recorded event so damaging it's being used to silence a lawsuit. But here is the single most disturbing detail in this entire sordid affair. Wright reveals that Bryce Gray's own mother was allegedly complicit, that she knowingly delivered her son to these recording sessions for money and status. This wasn't random exploitation, this was family-facilitated exploitation, where a parent allegedly sells their own child to be recorded, compromised, and controlled. Look at that clip of Bryce Gray now. Look at the innocence, the excitement.
Ready? How we gonna do the entrance of it though?
I don't know, you're the artist.
All right, here we go. It's your boy, Jaguar Wright. Empire. What's up, man?
That was great. Thanks. Congratulations on the success of the show. I mean, last year it seemed like it was like just a big train that came in and just kept going along. You guys set ratings records and everything. Did you expect that at all when you got the pilot script?
No, not at all. It just kind of just blew up out of nowhere, and really, and just from the music to the acting, put it together. It was a great project.
And how has it changed your life personally? I mean, just all the success. I mean,
oh man, from everything.
I've been to events, people are screaming your name all the time.
Man, it's like traveling from city to city. People know my face everywhere I go. It's a huge blessing, man. It's just, I'm happy to be a part of something that's inspirational to the world and means something to the world. My character is kind of mean, but it means something to the world, and something's happy to be playing.
He's talking about building an empire, his music career taking off. He had no idea that his very success was the bait, luring him deeper into the recording system. Every achievement he celebrated on camera was, allegedly, designed to make him a more valuable, more controllable asset. The bigger his platform, the more powerful the blackmail, and the retaliation for those who try to break free. Terrence Howard confirms the pattern. When artists try to expose the system, the industry's response is character elimination.
They accused him of fondling or touching someone at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
At a bar, and then they accused him of touching some dude.
Through manufactured scandals. They weaponize their own criminal behavior by projecting it onto the victims. But the ultimate, undeniable evidence that confirms this entire terrifying network comes from Jaguar Wright's own first-hand account. Stop. She is not describing hearsay. She is describing being an eyewitness to the recording operation itself. Professional studio documentation of explicit criminal acts involving multiple celebrities. She saw the machine in action. Here is what the evidence proves tonight. DMX warned us about the system of compromise and control.
I saw it was in a music studio.
Damn.
Like every other industry porn. First time I saw Paris Hilton's tape, A Night in Paris, was in the studio. The first time I saw Mary J. Blige being gang on camera at Death Row after hours was in the studio. Why would all of this illicit be in a place where music is supposed to be created, energy, why would all of that be happening? Why would these things be hitting there before they make it out there to the world? If it wasn't working hand in hand to begin with.
Terrence Howard survived it and exposed its blueprint. Will Smith was allegedly a key recruiter for it. Multiple celebrities, including Bryce Gray and Justin Bieber, were allegedly recorded. The tapes exist. Eyewitnesses are now talking. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a mounting body of evidence pointing to the largest, most sophisticated blackmail and exploitation operation in Hollywood history. This story is far bigger than one man or even two. When you understand that multiple A-list celebrities were actively facilitating Diddy's recording system, you realize this wasn't just about individual predation. This was about systematic Hollywood-wide collaboration, and the evidence of celebrity involvement goes far, far beyond music industry mentorship programs. Watch this clip.
Good, you're doing so good. I just want to say,
You just watched Diddy casually, brazenly invite a 13-year-old boy to an after party, and he specifically name drops who will be there to lure him in. This isn't random party footage. This is documented evidence of celebrities being used as bait to attract minors to private, controlled gatherings. Ashton Kutcher's presence wasn't coincidental. It was strategic. His wholesome, goofy image and young fan base made him the perfect, unsuspecting lure for underage victims who would trust him enough to let their guard down. Now, listen to Diddy himself describe the environment of these parties. Now you understand the full, horrifying scope of the operation. He is describing how he physically trapped people, making them uncomfortable and unable to leave. When you combine this with celebrity recruitment, minor targeting, and systematic recording, you are no longer looking at isolated incidents. You are looking at a criminal conspiracy involving multiple A-list participants. And the panic? The panic is real. This confirms that multiple high-profile figures are now in a state of sheer desperation, allegedly including names like Ashton Kutcher and Jay-Z, who are frantically trying to suppress evidence of their participation, whether willing or unwitting, in Diddy's recording network. The system is collapsing in on itself. The Celebrity Recruitment Network allegedly involved Will Smith for music industry targets, Ashton Kutcher for young Hollywood and underage victims, and countless others who used their fame and the public's trust to feed fresh talent into the recording machine.
There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Correct.
This isn't just about Diddy anymore. This is about a systemic, celebrity-enabled conspiracy. This is about the creation of a library of souls, used to control the very fabric of our popular culture for decades. Tonight, we've connected the dots that they never wanted connected. DMX prophesied it, Terrence Howard survived it, Will Smith was allegedly a recruiter for it, Ashton Kutcher was allegedly used as bait for it. The evidence is no longer circumstantial. It's a chorus of voices from the past and present, all singing the same terrifying song. Tape trading is happening right now as desperate stars try to buy back their freedom before federal investigations make everything public. If trusted mentors like Will Smith were allegedly recruiting for this operation, which current celebrities are identifying victims for them right now? When you see a sudden, inexplicable career move, a bizarre public breakdown, or a promising star vanishing from the spotlight, are you watching an artistic decision, or are you witnessing real-time blackmail manipulation? This is the world they built behind the fame, and the curtain is finally being torn down. If you have any information related to this investigation, your voice matters. And for everyone else, the best way to fight the silence is with sunlight. Share this video, make your voice heard. This is Behind the Fame. Until next time, fam, stay vigilant.